High School DxD. High School DxD is an anime that has been praised as the best eki ever made, and in a way that is accurate. Seriously though, it is an eki. For all of you eki haters, stay away. Shove down your masochistic tendencies and walk away. This is not an anime you are going to enjoy. We all know what we are getting into when we turn this show on. Copious amounts of TNA. High School DxD has quickly become synonymous with that phrase. But even then, that was not the sole reason I turned the show on. I generally am the type that needs a bit more than titillating imagery to watch something. So when I heard that DxD also had this really cool story to accompany it, I was sold. High School DxD falls into the "it's good for what it is" category and does not try to be something it is not. This is why it should be viewed as first and foremost a fan service show, with some laugh-out-loud moments, senseless antics, and occasional dramatic tones in the overarching plot. This is what makes it stand out from most other ekis that resort to covering an unintelligible story with lots of fan service. High School DxD has an actual story and distinctive character development. With the fan service aside, the show actually does have its merits. I particularly like the art style, decent visuals, and the music score. High School DxD gives you a lot of variety in the female characters as well as the situations they get undressed. The girls of the Occult Research Club range from Kaneko, a very petite and small-breasted girl who displays a lack of emotion and seems rather unaffected by everything, to Akino, who is busted and seems to take some enjoyment from Issei's antics, as well as the voluptuous Rias with Asia more on the petite side. All of the female characters are sexy and attractive in different ways. Synopsis: High school student Issei Hayadu is your run-of-the-mill pervert who does nothing productive with his life, peeping on women and dreaming of having his own harem one day. Things seem to be looking up for Issei when a beautiful girl asks him out on a date, although she turns out to be a fallen angel who brutally kills him. However, he gets a second chance at life when beautiful senior student Rias Grimmery, who is a top-class devil, revives him as her servant, recruiting Issei into the ranks of the school's occult research club. Slowly adjusting to his new life, Issei must train and fight in order to survive in the violent world of angels and devils. Each new adventure leads to many hilarious and risque moments with his new comrades, all the while keeping his new life a secret from his friends and family in High School DxD. Story. Before going into the specifics of the story that follows the characters, let me say that the overall concept of this world is what truly piqued my interest in the show. A three-way war between devils, angels, and fallen angels. An expansive world with history behind it. Varying degrees of mythology from different countries. Sadly, these aspects are quickly overshadowed by the story surrounding the main character. High school setting. Expected. It's in the bloody title. But what I wasn't expecting was a poor story about a servant and his literal power-ups. The story wants to be serious, but fails miserably at it. The so-called emotional moments had me rolling my eyes, and the dialogue left me stunned from how many cliché shounen lines it had. I am attempting to avoid spoilers, which is why I am avoiding the specifics that made this story as bad as it was. Just know this, it is a cool concept that loses points due to the execution. Art. It was good and filled to the brim with boobs and panty shots. I don't know what else I can really say. It was nothing spectacular, but is by no means unwatchable. Standard fare for when it was released. Sound. The OST was pretty solid. The music did a surprisingly good job of adding to the scenes. The standout aspect of the sound for me was actually the voice acting. I watched the show dubbed, but I have seen enough of the sub to know that both are good. But in my opinion, watch the show dubbed. The voices may actually be more fitting in the subbed, personal preference really. But the dub has dialogue that adds to the hilarity of the scenes exponentially. When the MC can promise not to drain his pimp juice, it's a damn fine dub. Character: Issei, an extremely typical pervert. I really dislike Issei. He is literally an idiot, and every single one of his thoughts revolves around something lewd. Of course, he is also a decent guy with a heart of gold, but hey, that's just par for the course. He is established early on as a good-hearted pervert, and he remains a good-hearted pervert until the end. He does gain a bit of development, but it really is just a bit. Rias Grimri: here we have the gorgeous Devil Senpai you read about in the description. A surprisingly decent character. She is strong-willed, honest, and oddly compassionate. Peculiar for a devil, but this show does break the occasional trope. What I liked about her character was how she took everything for what it was, fully acknowledging and accepting Issei's perversion, and using it as a motivation. She doesn't care what other people think, and does as she wishes. Asia: rarely have I found a more stereotypical, nice girl. She is incredibly sweet to everyone, a bit naive and innocent, and completely incapable of defending herself. Did I mention she's a nun that falls for the main character instantly? I didn't dislike Asia, but I found it hard to like her as she hardly felt like a character. She was immediately filed into my brain as a ball of cliches, and I felt nothing for her because of that. The notable side characters are Akino, Kiba, and Kaneko. The busted sadist with a kind exterior, the respectful pretty boy, and the expressionless lowly with a love for sweets, respectively. I was a big fan of these characters, and really wanted to see more of them. Overall, High School DxD is all about mindless fun with a respectable amount of TNA. Evaluated as a fan service focused series, it delivers on what it is, an ecchi harem comedy with an angels versus devils versus fallen angels aspect. This can get pretty confusing and doesn't make sense at times. It is a little better than average, and one of the top recent series in its genre. Don't go into watching this with the wrong mentality, expecting it to be something it is not. You will be disappointed. Watch it for what it is, and you may find enough enjoyment to keep watching. I would recommend it to anyone new to ecchi, and if this sounds interesting to anyone, they should definitely check it out. Thank you for subscribing to the channel and liking the video.